All right, folks. Happy Sunday. Hope you all had a good week. I hope you had a good weekend. And as far as the week ahead here, brand new month as we roll into August. So let's take a look at what I personally think could be some of the better swing trading setups for the month ahead. So if we take a look here at the S&P 500 daily squeeze. So not just the S&P 500, but if we look at the QQQ and you look at the Dow here, 3 different indexes, 3 different squeezes. So, structure of the market is still bullish here, and the trend is still bullish. So it's not really my job to, kind of predict the next move, so to say. Rather, my job is to take what is right in front of me and work with that until that changes. So with that being said, it's been a bullish market. The path of least resistance has been to the upside. Does that change in August? Maybe. But for the time being, I'm just going to take what the market has to offer here, and what it has to offer is a good bullish structure. So brand new squeeze here for the S&P 500. And as far as, looking at the squeeze here for August, question is, as we roll into tomorrow, does the market just start the next leg to the upside? Do we puke and roll over, or do we get, believe it or not, a week or 2 weeks of a bit of a chill pill here as the market just kind of consolidates back and forth inside of the daily squeeze? So that's all to be determined, obviously, but you all know how much I love these daily squeezes. So you look at the Qs here for an example. Right, brand new daily squeeze. Maybe this explodes this week. Maybe this rolls over. Maybe we take a week, 2 weeks, letting that squeeze develop, a little bit of a chop fest here. But once you got a squeeze in the indexes, especially with a squeeze here in the QQQ, you're looking for squeezes within technology. So, you got Apple here as a good example. Beautiful daily squeeze, really bullish structure. Everything lines up here. So you keep an eye on the Qs, you keep an eye on that squeeze, you watch that develop, and if ultimately this month it looks like that daily squeeze for the QQQ is going to fire along, I think you're looking at something like an Apple here. So squeezes across the board, but as far as where I think the biggest plate of opportunity might be as far as the month of August, my focus is going to be here on the semiconductor sector, the chip makers, SMH. So if you look at SMH, you have a great looking daily squeeze. Histogram goes positive. You got stacked EMAs, and check out the weekly. Beautiful looking weekly squeeze. So I do think the semis are gearing on up for a move here. And in terms of what I like within the semiconductors, AMAT looks rock solid. So I think you got a beautiful daily squeeze here, and pretty much like everything else in the group, you got a great looking weekly squeeze. Earnings is coming up on the 19th. So you got a good chunk of August to look for a move higher there in AMAT. Also a big fan here of Broadcom. So for those of you who are in my mastery, or if you took my class a couple weeks ago, we've all got a couple positions here in Broadcom. Awesome looking daily squeeze, and there's your weekly. So pretty much, your Broadcoms, your AMDs, etc., they're going to be a reflection of SMH right here, which is just a daily squeeze trying to pop off inside of a bigger picture weekly squeeze. So I do like Broadcom. And NVIDIA here is interesting. So as far as potential push into earnings for NVIDIA, beautiful looking weekly chart. You got stacked EMAs, you got green 10x bars, and we're just kind of hugging onto that 8 EMA right now. So if we take it to the daily chart, we don't have a daily squeeze just yet. Now I do imagine we're going to get our first thought of a daily squeeze here soon, assuming we don't make some big directional move. But you've got positively stacked EMAs. You've got green 10x bars on the monthly, the weekly, the 3-day, the daily. For those of you unfamiliar, if the 10x bars are green, it just means bullish momentum is still increasing. So you love to see that here. And like I mentioned, we don't have a daily squeeze, but we're right on top of that launching pad. The daily 21 EMA oftentimes is where a lot of the best moves are going to begin. So if we don't have a daily squeeze, what we can do is dial it down to a lower time frame. And in this example, we've got a beautiful 4-hour squeeze here. So looking for her move higher in NVIDIA into earnings, and I do think that 4-hour squeeze taking place right on top of your 21 could kickstart that move. So for those in my class, I got a position there in NVIDIA. But I think generally speaking, I like the structure of the semiconductors here. So NVIDIA with that 4-hour squeeze, that fits the bill. I think AMAT, I think Broadcom, a couple of great looking daily squeezes there as well. And I'm sure a lot of you, when you hear chip makers, you start to think, well, what about AMD? A total beast here, don't get me wrong, but it's too extended. Makes this big move into +3, +4 ATR. So I love AMD. I wouldn't touch it unless it pulled back. So I think it's a good sign here for the semiconductors, but I'm not going to chase this at this extension. So you look at a Broadcom as a comparison, and the old Broodcom hasn't made that move yet. And that's a move I'm looking for. So I'm a big fan of the semiconductors. I suggest y'all keep an eye on that. And then outside of the Chemis right here, we got a couple of put credit spreads on Peloton. So we got a daily squeeze here, and you've also got a weekly squeeze. So we're looking to see if this can get a move busting into earnings there. And then Tesla. So Tesla has already announced earnings, and looking at Tesla's weekly chart, it's kind of make it or break it. It's time for Tesla to grow up, so to say. You got this weekly squeeze, and everything is lined up here. Good strong close back above the 21. You got green 10x bars. You got positively stacked DMAs. So we got a couple of put credit spreads, and we're selling those puts down here at 640 with a September monthly expiration. And I'm just, I'm waiting for Tesla to get legit here. So you do have a daily squeeze that's trying to fire to the upside. But here's Tesla as of late. Daily squeeze, quick move into +2 to +3 ATR, and it's done and over with. And you got a squeeze, a quick move, and then it's done and over with. So those moves are nice and all, but I'm focusing here on the weekly. So would love to see Tesla, at the very least, just hold above the weekly 21 EMA. If it can just simply do that, we're going to walk away with a nice profit here. But as far as the structure and trend goes, would love to see the weekly squeeze wake up and Tesla getting back into gear here. So a little bit of Tesla, a little bit of Peloton, and a little bit of semiconductor action. So I do think those are a few things to pay attention to here as we head into the month of August. And as always, if you're in the simpler options room, we'll be covering these setups in my sessions Monday through Friday. If you're in the mastery, obviously, we got a full grip on this. And then for the rest of y'all here, just remember, tomorrow morning I will be live for pre-market prep around 8:45 a.m. Eastern. So if you want to dive a little bit deeper into Tesla, the semiconductors, and a few other setups out there with me, join us tomorrow morning. All right? So I appreciate y'all. I hope you had a good weekend. A few things I'm focusing on here as we head into August, and I hope it gives you a little bit of insight and an idea of what you might want to focus on as well. So enjoy the rest of your weekend. Go on ahead and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and I'll talk to y'all soon. Be good.